Okay. So basically, I have a podcast channel, but I wanted to post this episode on my main channel too. So if you're watching it, then I did decide that because I haven't decided that. But follow or look in the description for the actual podcast channel and stuff. But this is just one of the episodes. I just thought it would also fit on my main channel, so I'm putting it here. So that's all. Enjoy. Here we are again. Clearly, I'm not staying consistent with uploading every week for this, so that's okay. But here we are. I guess this is kind of part 2 to the last episode about how I'm trying to actually build my dream life. But right now I'm feeling more, what should I say? I'm feeling a bit discouraged today, but not in a super negative way, but in a kind of unsure way. So I don't really know what I'm about to say in this episode. I don't have a lot planned. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to film this really quickly or record it. And there probably are going to be a lot of parts where I'm not going to be saying anything. So like if I pause for a long time because I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say. So if there are long pauses, probably the podcast didn't break or anything. Like he didn't stop playing. It's just probably going to be me pausing for a second. So let's see, where should I begin? I don't remember where I left off, but I don't know. Let me just talk about, okay, so I feel so cheesy talking about all this, like following my dreams, dream life, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it sounds cheesy and just so, I don't even know. I used to be more pessimistic where I was like, when people talk about that and they're so optimistic about like following your dreams, like it sounds like childish and stuff, but I don't know. I think it doesn't have to be as immature as people think it is. Like it's just a way of speaking. I'm not naive. I'm not thinking, oh, I'll definitely achieve my dreams and it's going to be great and I'm going to have all these amazing things happen and my life is going to be perfect. And then if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be so sad. Like that's not what's happening. But I do think that it's okay to believe more in your potential success, but it doesn't have to be set as one thing. I don't know. It's all just like, I don't even feel like talking about it because it doesn't even matter. Like, who cares about what I want in my life? But I don't know. We can talk about, like, everybody has hopes. Some people don't. Some people are really negative and they don't think that their life will ever be okay. But a lot of people do have things that they hope for. I don't know if most people can think about that in a rational way, though, because a lot of people will have dreams and then be disappointed. I don't know. Like, you have to balance having a practical idea about life and also understanding that things are possible. Like my family, I come from a family of very practical people. So there's not really much dreaming that happens. And it's kind of like not expected for you to even think that you would have any life that isn't the completely normal one, right? So, and I've never fallen into the completely normal, basket or whatever. I just, I want the normal things though. That's what's confusing, even for me living my life. I don't really know. I think it's why I don't make much changes, or I can't seem to settle on something, because I don't even know what I'm trying to do, because I have this weird, I'm like two people in my brain. I'm not multiple personalities, and I don't flip-flop, but there are two, like, I don't know, most of my ideas have a contradictory idea on the other side, if that makes any sense. I want the regular life. So I want, like the classic, like I would say conservative, kind of traditional type of life. So I want a family and I want that kind of thing. And that is very like simple human existence for all of history. Just the simple have a family, because I'm going to die someday. So that's just it. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, because I got myself in trouble on TikTok the other day, which is a whole other conversation, where I was talking about people having children. Like you should probably have kids, but that's a whole other conversation because birth rates are going down. I don't know if I want to talk about that, but ever since I made those TikToks, and I didn't really get myself in trouble because nobody really knows except for some of my friends might have seen it, and I don't know how they feel about it, and I didn't want to offend anybody, but I was talking about those ideas, and I have thought about things since, and I kind of realized one thing that I don't know why, I don't know if it's being young or if it's this modern world with social media. The world is so complex and there's so many things at play that I think about it all the time. I think about all these little pieces that seem to make the picture clearer of why everybody is the way they are today. But there's so many different elements that you'd have to write a whole book, and then each chapter would be wild and trying to describe every little detail, and then how to put that all together at the end of the book to say, this is why we are this way. I mean, that's just so crazy. Maybe I should try to write a book like that someday, but it'd take a lifetime. And then maybe I could describe this generation. Because there's history that has led to this. There's our modern, like, technology that's led to the way we are. It's everything. But something I was thinking about is that it's either because we're young and this is normal for young people, or it's because of technology and like social media and the ability to make yourself like, do you see how it's like impossible to follow my logic on these podcasts? I don't know how anybody could listen to this and understand what I'm saying. I see social media nowadays as like, okay, you think about influencers, right? You think about me sitting here right now filming myself talking, when like who on the planet really cares about what I have to say? And then anybody who has an Instagram that posts pictures that, any kind of like posting yourself, like what it is to me, I think is like we grew up knowing about celebrities and, famous actors and people in history that were photographed and filmed and in movies and all of this that started in like the 20s or something, that whenever the camera was invented and people started to be photographed, and then you had celebrities, famous people in Hollywood, and what is it, like the golden age of Hollywood or something like that, where there were people like Marilyn Monroe and Frank Sinatra, these famous people and Elvis Presley, and then the Beatles and all of this, that people could see another person and almost they were seen as like this god or this, it's fame, it's so wild. And before photography, if there was a famous person, I don't even know if fame existed, but if there was fame, then it was by name only and whatever you read about that person. So then photography and film and all of that was like you could watch a human being and you could collect images of them through magazines and this and that, and then collect, once there was like records and stuff, and collect the audio and music and everything. And now, so I think we grew up with that sort of, right? We grew up knowing about famous people and like Entertainment Tonight and the magazines and Disney Channel, and they're famous people, and having these like famous boys we had crushes on, like, I don't know, Zac Efron or the Jonas Brothers or One Direction, and everything started to build and build, and then you got the internet, and then it started to be, I can collect images in my phone of people, and then I can post my own images, and I have my Tumblr, and I can post my stuff, and then people started to get famous. Like regular everyday people started to get famous on the internet through YouTube and all that. If you're watching the podcast, by the way, what is this? Like, I can't think of words right now. The lighting is changing. That's what I'm saying. The lighting is clearly changing because clouds outside, and this is natural lighting. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Sorry, Jesus. I can't talk clearly either. So I think something happened where now it's like, oh, I can be famous too. And even if you're not going to be famous, there is this sensation of, I can post my own stuff. So I am making myself, almost like when celebrities had paparazzi photos taken of them on the streets. Now you've got everyday people having their friends take a photo of them on the streets in New York and posting their style outfits. Street style, right? So it's like we're making ourselves into the celebrities that we wish we could be, even if it's subconscious, even if you're not meaning to. And I post pictures on Instagram, and I'm obviously filming myself. So, and a part of that's the reason I think of this, is because I know in my own brain that a part of why I do YouTube and all this is because I kind of really wish I was an actor. I really wish I could be in a movie. I wish that my face was on a movie screen. I love movies. I like the image of a human acting and their eyes and their face and the lighting of the scene and the setting. I just like seeing it almost. And I like that they're telling a story. And I wish that I could do that, actually. I wish that I was in a movie. I wouldn't make YouTube videos if I could be in a movie and then I could just have like, this is a movie that I was in. But since I'm not an actor and I don't have that, all I have is I make these YouTube videos of myself. And it is like a narcissistic thing. I don't think I'm a narcissist, but human beings can be narcissistic, and that's a part of it. And anybody who posts on social media, there is an element of narcissism, unless you are just posting about something else. Like if you're standing for something and you're just posting about that. But if you post about yourself and things are under your name, there is a part of that. And even artists or any person, like a writer, if it's under your name, a part of it is about like, I'm doing this. And that's okay. It's not bad, because we create things and we're humans and we want to make things. And we want to be known for making those things. And we want people to know, like, give us the credit that we made that. Even in your job, like, hey, that was my idea. Or I'm really proud that the boss is taking my idea and then like we're running with this. Or like I'm having this conversation and we're like making plans and I'm really proud of myself for it. We get a feeling of pride from it. So all of that's super normal. But it's just interesting. I think the reason social media is the way it is because we kind of want to be our own mini celebrities. Why did I start talking about this? I don't know why I started talking about this. Why did I begin? Oh, yeah, because was it connected to my dream life stuff? I don't know, maybe. And then the having kids. And then the traditional life. Okay. Yes. I'm trying to connect the dots in my brain. This is how so usually I just let myself run with an idea and then I keep going and going, but I got to circle back. I got to go back. I remember, okay, this is a different thing. This is funny to me. And do you remember that lady, it's Jen Psaki or whatever? I think it was her, who was the press secretary, I think, for Biden at the beginning. she would always say circle back. They would ask her a question and then she'd be like, I'm going to have to circle back to that. And she kept doing that. Like she would not answer a question. Her thing was always, I'm going to have to circle back to that. So there's a funny person that I listen to sometimes that he's like a sort of podcaster / radio host, I think. But he has a YouTube channel. And I remember he's so funny. And he was saying around that time in one of his videos, he was saying, she says circle back so much or something that she's got to circle back to the circle back. It's not funny because I can't do it like him, but the way he said it was hilarious. He was like, she's got to circle back to the circle back. Okay, now I need to circle back. Okay, get it together. Let me circle back to my circle back. Jeez, that is what happened, huh? Okay. Yeah, so I've got the weird dilemma in my mind that there's two parts of me. There's the part of me that understands these things about, that social media and all this is just like a kind of modern thing that's us kind of being narcissistic and thinking that we like deserve better than anybody else has ever had, or we deserve to do whatever we want and we deserve like these dream lives and this dramatic stuff and I should get everything I want in life. But there's the part of me that understands like more practical things in history and the fact that at the end of the day, I'm just a human being. Like I believe in like the Christian religion type of thing. So that's its own concept that is not exactly the same as if it's just like I'm not pessimistic about human existence, that it's like, oh, we're just creatures and we don't really matter and I'm just an animal. I don't really feel that way, but I do think that evolution is probably correct. And so then I am just like, there's a practical part of, I'm just like existing on a planet. I'm a living creature. And there are biological reasons that I feel the way that I feel and the desires that I have and everybody else. And then there's also society and there's structures of the human community. And so I have the, I don't know if it's like a spiritual desire or like just the human flaw of I want what I want and I'm going to try to get what I want. And there's a selfishness that comes with that. But then there's also the responsibility to community and to, live as humans have lived, because we can't just flip the world upside down and like think we can change everything and that it's all going to work out. There's structure. There's reasons for how we are. Evolutionarily, is that a word? For evolutionary reasons. I don't know. So do you know what I'm saying? To sum it up, I'm saying there's the part of me that understands history, understands evolution and reasons for living a traditional life. And there's also the part of me that is still like kind of, I don't fit in the regular old box, that there's something about me that's seeking after something else. But because I have those two mentalities, it's not mentalities, but the two perspectives in my mind, it's like I'm okay if I don't achieve amazing things, because I do know that it's actually fine and normal to have a simple life and to not expect crazy wild things that like I see all over the internet, that everyone's living these crazy wild lives. That's actually really not normal. And so I don't think everybody can achieve that. So I don't think that that means I will and have to achieve that, because actually it'd be fine if I didn't. But I do have hopes. But to put the hopes into words, I don't think I can do that, because I have goals and ideas. But at the same time, if I end up with something else, I don't mind, I try to trust that God knows the best thing that's going to happen for me. And that even if I work towards certain goals or dreams, I don't have to get that specific thing. I think as long as I do the right thing and I make sure I get certain things done in my life, then I think it'll end up being fine. But I'm not going to push off having a family so that I can achieve other things in life. And the reason that I would say that is because one of the things I thought of, this is circling back to the TikTok that I was talking about. Something I kind of realized is that think we forget, and this is also with the internet. I'm trying to connect it all because I had it connected when I started talking. Now I've disconnected it with the social media and kind of thinking that we're like mini celebrities subconsciously. We are not meaning to, but we kind of think that. And we kind of feel like we've been immortalized, and we're also young. And when you're young, you don't understand, you can't fully comprehend the fact that you're gonna die and your life is going to end, and you don't get to be young forever. You don't get to have all these amazing things you want forever, and nothing's guaranteed. So we're not really able to conceptualize that. And we're also so separated from what normal life is, I think, because of what we see all over the internet. And then a lot of people are negative and pessimistic now about all of life. And a lot of people don't like human beings anymore. It's so weird. It's honestly weird. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not normal the way that we are. I mean, maybe it's partially normal because of our age when we're young, but we're getting older, and there are like millennials who also think like this. And if you're a millennial, you're a little bit too old to be thinking like this anymore, to be like, I don't need kids. Kids are like a pain. Kids are dumb. Kids are pointless. Like, and humans don't even matter, and the planet is dying, so we should just like die out. It doesn't matter. Like, what in the world? Like, you sound crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you told that to any people in the past, you sound a little crazy. But okay. So we have that issue. But then the other part is, I think that as women, we're not really being told anymore. Like, people don't want to pressure anybody. So you don't want to tell, like, it's always been like the feminist thing became, don't put pressure on me to have kids. Don't tell me I have to have kids, or like, I shouldn't have to do that. Like, why is it always pressure on women to have children? And like, that's the expectation. But that's because we have this modern world where you don't have to, at least in the West, you don't have to have kids. But if you want to have kids, I think we're not being told about that option as much. That maybe, I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying? I think we're not educated enough on our own health and our own bodies and our, reproductive health. And if you do want to have children, I think we're being pointed in the wrong direction, that like, focus on your career first, and then don't even worry about kids until you're ready, until you want it, until later. But it's really scary when you start to think about the fact that you could miss your opportunity if you wait too long. And we are getting married later in life now. We're having kids much later in life in the West. And as you age and as the time goes by, you start to miss your opportunity. The chances, it gets basically more difficult to have kids. And it's not even just your egg count going down, but the eggs that you have left start to be not as viable. So then you have less and less odds that you're going to get pregnant later on. So if you're like waiting until you're in your 30s, your chances start to go down. And it's still possible, but not as likely. And the celebrities, it's easier for them because they have all this medicine and they can afford all this fertility treatment. So for women that absolutely don't want to have kids, I don't know, you do whatever you're going to do. But for anybody who does kind of want to have kids, I'm starting to think, I wish that we could talk about it more and teach girls more how to like plan for it, because I think we're told don't even plan for it. Don't even think about it. Like, don't think about having kids unless you get to the point where you want it. And, you can wait as long as you want for that, but it's not actually true. If you do want kids, even if you're young and you can't even imagine having them yet, if you kind of think you do want them, I think you need to start thinking about it. And we're not told to think about it. And I was thinking, like, I'm 25 and I do want to have kids. I don't have that like deep desire to have kids, but I want to do it because I only have one life. And as a woman, like, that's just I don't even know how to say it, but if you don't have kids, you don't ever get to do that again later. Like, it's a weird thing in life. Like, a lot of things you can wait for and you can still do it later on, but this you can't. You have a certain window of time in your life that you can do it, and then you can't anymore. And so I would like to do it, and then I don't think I'm ready. But then I was thinking last night that no matter what, like, most things in life we're not ready for. I'm not ready to age. I'm not ready to die, but someday that's going to happen no matter what. And, you're not, when you're young, you're not ready to go to school, and then you're not ready to graduate, and then you're not ready to start a job. But there are milestones in life that you have to reach. You have to do it, or else what's going to happen? You have to keep moving forward, and your life is going to keep going no matter what. And time keeps going no matter what. But I think we're told to not worry about it and just don't even think about it until you're ready. But you're probably never going to be ready. Most girls aren't ready, but you either make yourself do it or you don't, because you can miss that opportunity. And no matter what, you're going to age and die. That's going to happen. So our bodies, like people say, don't talk about the clock. Don't talk about that. But it's true. We have a clock ticking no matter what. Men have a clock ticking too, that they're going to die. Like, we all have that clock ticking. So you're either going to achieve in life, you're going to achieve the things you want in life before you die, or you're not. And it's like an athlete. An athlete can only be a professional athlete for a certain amount of time in their life. Then it's over. So there are things in life that are time sensitive. And if you don't get it done, then you're not getting it done. I had my alarm going. Whoops. Okay, I got to finish this podcast. I wasn't supposed to talk only about this, but I was thinking about that. And it does play into building my dream life. That I want both things. I want the family, and I want to do creative things. But life is so weird, because you can say, I have these goals and I want to have this life that I'm conceptualizing. But then it's also like, well, what about just living life and not thinking so much about what you're doing? And I should do both those things. But I guess I don't really want to talk about in the last episode where I talked about trying to be more positive and all of that, because I am, and it is working, and things have been going really well for me emotionally, and I've been more positive. And I keep saying everything's going to work out for me, and things are working out, and I feel like the winds are changing. I feel it, even though people can't see it, and that's a frustration for me. That people in my life, I don't know, they won't see my life going well. I don't think that anybody really believes that my life is going well or something. And I don't really think that's an insecurity for me. It is a little bit like it's an insecurity, but I mean, I don't think I'm making that up. I think that people do think that I'm not getting anywhere in life, or they have this idea of where I should be at this point in my life, and I'm not there. But it's difficult enough for me to keep my life together. I don't know. I have like that OCD thing, but I don't know if I've got other problems that make it where for my brain, I just am not, like, nobody's perfect, and I'm not good at being on track with, I guess, whatever everyone else in the world thinks that I should be doing. But I believe for me that I'm going to figure it out. But I don't think the other people in my life believe that I'm going to figure it out. And they can see the stuff on the outside. Like, they can see like that I'm relatively fit. They can see that I look good. Like, they can see the outside stuff that they're thinking about. Like, when everybody kind of judges and tries to think about, is this person doing well? Is this person doing okay? And then when people are not doing well, it's like, this person's not doing too well. Like, everybody's kind of judging. It's normal to look at your friends and family and think, they're not doing what they should be doing, and I'm doing what I should be doing. Like, everybody is trying to compare so that they can figure out if they are doing things correctly for their life. And it's not like one-upping somebody in a mean sense, but it kind of is. It's like, oh, that friend from high school, I can see like they're doing this and that, and like, I'm glad I didn't do that, or look at me and then look at them. But then sometimes it's like, oh man, look at them. They're doing really well, and I'm not doing really well. So we're always comparing. And I think that if people look at my life, I don't know what they're going to think, but I don't think that they're going to feel that I'm thriving all that much. And I don't think, and I do feel from my family that I don't think they're disappointed, and I don't think they're concerned a lot but I think they're going to start giving up on an idea that I'm going to, I don't know. I think they probably just expect that eventually I'll settle into something and then it's just going to be like, okay, she's doing okay. But what if I want greatness? What if I want amazing stuff? But they can't see it. I can see it. I can see that it's possible, but nobody else can see it. So it's weird. They can't see it. Nobody can see it. But I'm trying to have faith and I can see the potentials. But it's not here yet. Like, it hasn't been manifested yet. Not like out of magic thin air, like through manifestation, but I mean like manifest as the literal term that it is. Like, things come to fruition. It hasn't come to fruition yet. But I know that the things that I believed in years ago and the person that I believed that I could be years ago, I am more like that person than I was back then. Completely. I am basically that person. When I look at myself in the mirror, bro, I'm telling you, I see the person that I knew I could be years and years and years ago. When I would look in the mirror years and years ago, and I was like, that doesn't look right. Like, I know I can be so much better. I know how I'm supposed to be. I know who I'm supposed to be. I have gotten there, like, in my physical existence, my physical being, my life, and I don't like the word career, but my life on the outside isn't exactly how I have imagined now. Like, what I can imagine for my life, I'm not there yet. But what I imagined for myself, I feel like I am there. So I don't know. What I can see in my mind, other people can't, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. So I have to like block out the sound of other people. But so this dream life thing, I think that nobody will ever see that. But someday I might be living it. And then I'll just be like, you know what? I said so. I said it. I saw it. And nobody else did. And you don't have to worry about it. So nobody worry about it. Don't ask me about how my life, don't ask. Like, people don't need to ask because you can't see it. And even if I tell you, you're not going to know. You can't imagine it. You're not going to believe it. But I see it. And the things that I saw before, I can see it in real life now. So what I'm seeing in my brain right now, like, don't even worry about it. Because it can be real. It can happen. So I guess what I've been doing is trying to energetically and emotionally live that out, because the visions that I had, I want to feel it. So that's what I'm working on. What else should I say? Oh yeah, I did start saying that I was just feeling discouraged a bit, but I feel a little bit better now after talking. I guess a part of that discouraging feeling, although I need to finish this soon, it's another part about social media that I think makes us feel like, we can see other people succeeding at things and then we might not be succeeding at it. So then it starts to kind of feel like, well, maybe I should just give up then. If they're already succeeding and I haven't succeeded yet, then maybe I should just give up. Maybe it's not for me. But I think we are thinking too short term, and that is with a lot of things in life, that we should be succeeding so young, and then if it doesn't happen, then it's never going to happen. And I don't really want to talk about all that, but that's the thing I need to say, because when I was feeling discouraged, it feels like there's always that thought in the back of your mind that's like, maybe you should give up. Like, maybe you should stop thinking that you can achieve this. Like, maybe you should stop. Like, maybe not everyone, but the people who are saying it, maybe they're right, that it's not your thing. Like, it's not your gift. It's not your destiny. Like, maybe you should just give up. It'd be less embarrassing if you would just give up, because it's kind of embarrassing to talk about all these things or to put anything out there if it's not succeeding. It's embarrassing. Like, it's embarrassing to put that out there and then nobody's liking it, nobody's paying attention. Like, that's a little bit embarrassing, right? So you should just probably give up, and then it'd be less embarrassing. If you just stopped talking, you wouldn't feel so embarrassed. Now I'm feeling upset again. But I don't know. I think that's the weird thing, because we can see other people getting attention and getting likes. So then when you do it and you don't get anything, you're like, is it because I'm really bad at it actually? Is it because I really should just stop? Or is that just this modern thing? Because with social media, you can see all that. Like, in the past, everyone was working hard at their goals and dreams, but you saw what your friends were doing, and sometimes you didn't, probably, but friends and family could know what you were working on. But then the rest of the world, and I guess even your friends and family, might not see what you have been working on until it actually exists, until you actually succeed at something, because there might be a lot of failures and you don't tell your friends and family about it. Like, you don't tell your friends and family that it didn't go well. They don't have to know. Or I'll just keep working on this thing, and then if it fails, like, some of my friends know, but the rest of the world doesn't really know that I've failed. But with social media, it's weird because you put something out there that can go to, like, your extended family and, like, friends from high school, or people that you're not even friends with from high school or middle school or anything. And it's a little bit like, oh, that didn't go well, and all those people saw. So it's just weird. Like, it's the part of me that thinks, why are you even doing any of this? Because nobody cares, really. Maybe one or two people care. So why? It's like I'm working on things and I'm doing things that's, like, completely invisible to other people. Not completely invisible to everybody. But it's weird. It's like nobody talked to Hadley about what she's working on because I, Hadley, don't even know what to say about it, first of all. Because there's no succeeding. So it's not like I can say, yeah, I'm working. I'm not a bragger, and I'm not the type of person to tell everybody I'm working on these cool things and be overconfident about it. So then it's like, I'm just going to do these things and nobody pay attention to it, or nobody say anything to me about it until if it becomes successful. But what is success? Like, what's the point? So the other thing I was thinking about is why, like, I should probably just stop. I should stop talking about if something's successful or not. I should stop saying successful. Sort of. I don't know. I don't want to completely, like, be so, like, too conceptual about things. But because something I wrote in my journal the other day is that I can't control whether or not something is successful. But does that mean that I should stop doing things because I can't control if it's successful or not? Because when you create something or you do anything in life, most things, you don't know if it's going to work out. But does that mean that you should stop before you even begin? No, you should still do it. So if I can't control if it's successful or not, and you don't find out until you put it out there, you don't find out until that moment if it's going to be successful. So, but you still do it anyway, and you have to do it. You have to like just bite the bullet and do it. So I should keep going, and I should keep, like, that's the conclusion, even though my insecurities in the back of my mind always pop up. It comes up every couple weeks, or like it comes in waves of, oh yeah, it's not really working out, is it? Oh yeah, you're not working as quickly as other people do, or you're not as focused as other people are. You can't keep up with it. You're not, like, designed to be successful for this. Like, it's something that I think about sometimes, that it doesn't come naturally to you to win. Like, it doesn't come naturally talent doesn't just flow out of me. So then why are you even doing it? Maybe you think that you can do all these things, but you really can't. So why do you keep trying? Like eventually you're just going to have to give up, right? But then I'm stubborn and I'm like, I think those thoughts are not correct. I hear ya, brain. And I think you're onto something with that like you're not this amazingly talented person. But I also think, why does that matter? Because it's not that embarrassing at the end of the day, because no matter what, I'm going to die someday. I'm going to be gone someday. So it doesn't have to be that embarrassing if I fail at everything I ever try to do. It doesn't have to be that embarrassing because I did it anyway. And I'm not that worried about that. But so the thought to give up is like, it's not even a question for me. Like, I'm just not going to give up. But I do have those thoughts that are like, why are you even doing it? Like, just like, be quiet. Like, just shut down. But I think that those thoughts are not right. I don't know. I don't know if this has made any sense, and I gotta go. But, okay, sorry, an email. All right. I gotta go. But it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I think that things are gonna work out, but I can't tell you that there's any reason why I'm doing all these things. Like, I can't say that it's gonna be worth it. I don't know. It could all still just be like, oh, Hadley's there doing her thing, and we don't even know what to think about it. We don't even know what to say, but she's there doing it. So I'll just keep doing it. I'll just be here, and I'll just be like, well, just like speaking into the void with all my things that I do. Anyway, I gotta go. The podcast episodes are basically going to be sporadic whenever I feel like doing it, I think. So I'll see you in the next episode, whenever that is. Just put me on post notifications if you want to keep up with it and you don't, because I can't promise that I'm going to release an episode soon. But yeah, I got to go. There's some emails coming in and I got to leave. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe. Check the links below for my Instagram, my Spotify, and everything. And I want to make more music at some point. So that's going to happen. But it's just like, I'm a slow person. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. But I'm still moving forward. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye. I feel like that was a bad way to end it. I guess I should have just ended it there. So now it's awkward. Okay. Okay, bye. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.